Petero, and welcome to another episode of About Town, where we feature members of our community who are making a difference in Solano County. Visiting us today is Solano County Board of Supervisors Monica Brown, who's responsible for District 2. I see Supervisor Monica Brown all around town at different functions, and we thought we'd capture her right here in the studio to give us a little bit more information about the district that she serves and what she can catch us up on with regard to the committees that she's on. So thank you so much, Supervisor Brown, for coming into the studio with a busy schedule. And so just to catch our audience up, here in Solano County, tell us a little bit about what District 2 covers.
Sure.
And then we'll go into some of the subcommittees you're on and just catch us up on what's going on in Solano County with regard to District 2 in your subcommittees. And you have a newsletter that you can catch us up on.
Yes.
But let's start with your district.
Even though the pandemic is somewhat ending,
Yes.
and coming out and stuff like that. So I believe that I have the best district. I have all the water.
Mm-hmm.
So District 2 starts with Mare Island.
Right.
South Vallejo, where Cal State Maritime Academy is, and Georgia's the dividing line, and keep going, Glen Cove, Benicia, come down on 680, I have the Suisun Marsh, and when you hit Georgia Street, I'm sorry, I apologize, when you hit Green Valley,
Right.
then it's where Nelda Monday is Costco, and then Cordelia, so I-80 is kind of the dividing line. So where Cordelia is, keep going where Target is, and go up to Pennsylvania. So I always tell everybody that my district either floods or we catch on fire. Those are our claim to fame.
The two extremes.
Very
right?
much the extremes.
Oh my gosh.
So we did have some flooding this last time. So I've reached out to John Garamendi's office to see if we can talk about interstate commerce, because we need to get the railroad to clean out the trestle.
Excellent.
So if you're going down Suisun Valley Parkway, you'll see all the debris. That was debris just that came from down the hills with all the fires and was taken out by Caltrans. Well, we can control Caltrans, but that creek, which is the Suisun Creek, continues underneath and comes into my district, the unincorporated area, where Erickson's Ranch is, which makes great apple butter. Just sharing.
Nice.
I love their apple butter.
And that's all in your district?
It's all in my
Of course.
district. It's all in my district. But we have all the debris, and so we can't control the railroad. So that all happened, in the 1800s and all that kind of stuff. So, but one of the things that I've been able to work on, and one of them that a committee that I'm really proud of, is the Area Agency on Aging.
Right.
When the nonprofit went under, we then were able to put in a JPA because it's Napa and Solano.
What's a JPA?
And so a JPA is a joint powers agreement. So that's usually what happens when you have more than one entity working on it. And so we have worked, if you go on our website, which is, the Area Agency on Aging, you will see all the documents. I wanted to be transparent. I wanted everybody to know where the money goes. So we're required by law to give about 50% of our money to Meals on Wheels. So if you are a senior, which is 60 or greater, and you need help with food, please contact us. We will be happy to help you. We have plenty of money for food.
Where would they contact the county itself?
You can just call Meals on Wheels, and there's a website.
Right.
It's located over in the Suisun Marina, but it's going to be moving in a couple of years, but if funding comes through, like everything else. Or you can even contact my office, and we're happy to help.
Would you happen to know what the population is in terms of the seniors here in Solano County?
We have about 110,000 seniors, so that's 60 or greater.
Goodness.
And our population's only 450,000 for the county itself. So we have our main concern is that the number one group that's becoming homeless are the seniors that are aging 50 or greater. So maybe it's 55%, 55 years. And that's a big concern. So we work with Congress, we work with the state, and we just need funding to make sure our seniors have a safe place to live. And everybody needs a safe place to live.
Absolutely.
Because I also serve on in-home support services. So that means if you were staying home, either you are either disabled yourself or maybe a family member, and you can have somebody come in and help. But there's parameters to that. Now that one is based on money. So the Area Agency on Aging, we do not care what your money is. If you need food, we will help you get it and tell you where to go.
Okay. So it doesn't matter what your socioeconomic status
That is correct. For that one, no.
Okay.
But for in-home support services, you really have, I think it's up to, if you have like $197,000 in your bank account and you can own 2 cars in your home, you're okay to get in-home support services. But anything greater than that, then you're going to have to pay, or when you pass away. I'm not trying to be bad here, but when then they'll come after your estate. So you have to be really kind of careful. But one of the things, and then the other that I serve on is mental health. That one I'm just as proud of as the other two. Oh my goodness! We were able
they all seem to be linked to each other.
They all are. I love it. I love it. And because with in-home support services, with so many of our seniors, what happens, there's not enough convalescent homes. So what we have to look at is who's going to come in and help us be able to stay in our homes. So that's a whole nother issue, and that's something that we really need to grapple with, because it's going to be expensive, and a lot of it's me. I'm the baby boomer, so it's us.
More people want to stay in their homes.
They do. Right? Yes. You don't want to really go assisted living and stuff unless you have to. So the other subcommittee I'm on is the Mental Health Advisory Board. So over at Beck Avenue, so it's in my district, which is nice. We were able to get a grant, and we built a 16-bed mental health facility and a 16-bed board and care.
And it's all built already.
It's all built. We already had the ribbon cutting. Excellent. We're just waiting for approval from the state, which, make sure we have everything that we need. The nice thing about having right there is that we didn't have any NIMBYism, right? I don't want those people here.
Not in my backyard.
It could be your son or daughter or husband or wife, okay? So get real, guys. There's mental health issues, and we all know that. But then they can just walk over to Beck Avenue, just like 2 parking lots away, and get the help that they need. So the goal is to serve 16 folks, and then as they get better and are able to take care of themselves, then we can put them into the board and care, and then work with them. And you always hear this term called wraparound services. Right. Well, what that means is somebody who will make sure that you're hopefully you're mentally stable, but are you able to take care of yourself? What kind of education do you need? What is it that we can do to help you so that you can be able to take care of yourself? That's the goal.
Eventually become self-sufficient.
Exactly.
And reincorporated into society.
Into society, exactly.
That's a great
exactly.
idea. And I would imagine that it would be different with each person, right? And would each person start at a different place? Like, so for example, somebody may not need the housing, but they do need, say, help me with a job interview. Or is this right from this process of you have to be here and then we'll help you work?
Now so yesterday's board meeting, in fact, people can watch that online, go online and you can get that. Yesterday's board meeting, we had the workforce development. Heather came and spoke, and they offer what you're talking about. So you don't have to have necessarily the mental health component, but you can go to workforce development and get the help. And one of the things they're looking at is helping folks to get to be a CNA, and then helping to get the LVN. And I'm always promoting Solano Community College. Always, come to Solano Community College. You can get your RN. Yes, because by 2030. So many of us are going to need that support and help, and that's where the money is. So one of the things that I brought up when I was talking to Heather, I said, I've read where STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, that's where the higher paying jobs are, and that's what we need to work on. And so if they need the education, the money is there. Please, I cannot emphasize to everybody listening to this.
Absolutely.
Come to Solano Community College. You can get your 2-year degree and move forward. There are certificates. Again, the RN program. If you want to get your BSN, which is Bachelor of Science in Nursing, you can do that, but you can get your RN. And a lot of places like Kaiser, they'll pay for the education. So look around. Don't get yourself any more in debt than many of you are. But as I'm mentioning about Solano Community College, one of the things I'm very proud of, because I was a trustee here, is not only the early college program, which we'll talk about in a moment, but we have the 4-year degree program.
Yes,
and that is so great because I want to thank all the taxpayers who gave us the bond and built this
Professor Jim
state.
DeClo.
I know Jim DeClo. Oh my God,
yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And then not only with early college, if you think about early college being linked to both Solano Community College and Fairfield Unified School District, you can get a CNA. Be a certified nursing assistant at the adult school.
At the adult school,
So we have Solano Community College, you have the adult school, where you can get into the nursing program in some form, and then be helpful to our seniors. Like you said, baby boomers are retiring. Baby boomers 1946 to 1964. Both of us fall into that. I'm at the tail end, you're right in the middle. And we're going to need to be taken care of.
We are.
There's so many, and women still live longer than men.
Yes, they do.
And there's so many women who are alone in their homes.
Yes.
Right. So, does the area, the community area on aging, all of your committees you're on, do they support these women who are, many of whom are widowed? Or
well, one of the things is that and the demographics that you're indicating are obviously true, but we're not gender specific. It's just if anybody needs anything, we will help you. So we offer help if you you're in a wheelchair. And maybe you need some help to get your the ramp built. Let us know. We also have money where if you want to have a bar or two in your bathroom or your bathtub, your shower, let us know. We have contractors that we vetted, and we have some money to help with that. It might take a little bit of time. That's why we need to make sure that the budget goes through on time and we don't have some mucky muck folks doing something in the house, which will keep us from paying the bills that we've already agreed we're going to pay.
Yes. And so your constituents who are needing this care, they can just contact your office.
They can contact my office, and I can help them where they need to go. Not a problem
and
whatsoever.
All that information is going to be on your newsletter and also at the bottom of this program here, so that they can see your office at Monica Brown at the district Solano County Board of Supervisors.
Right. So the email would be grammatically wrong. I always say that. Me Brown. So M.E. Brown at solanocounty.com.
Cool.
And if you email me and just say this is what I need, or can you put me in contact with whatever, then I or my staff will forward that. And then it helps. So if you say it's okay to forward my email, because otherwise then I say, is it okay if I forward your email? And by the way, when you email an elected official, that is public record.
Yes, absolutely.
So please be careful what you write. It stays forever.
Yes.
But
which brings us, speaking of things that stay forever,
right?
Tell us about your newsletter, because one of the great things, and just a self-disclosure here, I am one of your constituents, and I value your newsletter because I read it every Friday or as often as I can, and it's so informative, it's so instructive. So tell us a little bit of why did you put the newsletter together, and how did it come about, and tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, I wanted a way to reach my constituents, and before the pandemic, I would have office hours one day a month in Benicia, Vallejo, and Fairfield. And with the pandemic, I'm still afraid. I always wear my mask.
Yes.
I know Ana, so those watching this and we're more than 6 feet apart. But I even wear my mask at the board meetings, and just for everybody, 400 people a day still die in the United States from COVID.
Goodness.
Maybe not as many in California, but today, yesterday was the day where we are no longer under the state of the emergency.
Right. I saw that in the paper.
So one of the things that I try to do in my newsletter is let you know the things that are going on. For example, STA, which is the Solano Transportation Authority, and MTC, which is the Metropolitan Transportation Corporation, if you've driven I-80, you'll see that they're putting in a new lane, which is a toll road lane, right? That. But what they're trying to do here and in Southern California, the San Diego area, and the Imperial area, and in Sacramento, is they want to have a toll on each lane. So it won't be a freeway anymore. It will be a tollway. Each lane. So I try to send out all the information I get to let you guys know everything that is going on, so that you're aware of it. Now, Regional Measure 3, and this will be in this Friday's newsletter. Regional Measure 3, the courts ruled in favor of keeping RM3. That's the one where the tolls are increased up to, what, $8 or $9 eventually? So $534 million is what was captured when they were not able to put that money out. Well, where's that money going to go? I'm not making that determination, but I want people to be aware of what's going on, because the Richmond Bridge is going to have to be replaced, right? That's 60 years.
Carquinez Bridge.
Well, the Carquinez Bridge, part of it, you're right. Yeah, part of
yes,
it. Right,
you're right.
We don't have a lot. And then Highway 37 is going to be a toll road, which I am not in favor of. So that means you take, and not to be rude to anybody, but we are one of the poorest counties. So who has to pay? Because I don't have to pay when I go east, right? I don't have, when I go over the causeway by Davis, I don't have to pay to do that one. But if I go 680 south, or if I go I-80 west, and now Highway 37. Now, why are people on Highway 37? Because that's where the better paying jobs are. And so you're going to have
Napa,
people.
Oakland, Concord, San Francisco.
Exactly. And so I don't like that. It's not fair. It's not right. And it's not like people can really carpool, because a lot of times what you see are the men and women who have the paint, right, and the ladders that they need. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And all the different things that you're going to need to go where the jobs are and stuff like that. So
my goodness.
that just bothers me that we're nickel and dime for that, and the money does not stay in Solano County. That's the concern that I have. So
I agree with that. Taxpayers are nickel and dime to death. You pay your taxes, then you have to pay sales taxes, then you have to pay all of this extra taxes, then you have to pay for your kids to go on all these field trips. You're right. We as community, as citizens, are nickel and dimes to death.
Right. And the problem in my mind, the problem is the rich are not paying what they're supposed to be paying. Okay, so our little Tesla guy. So I believe California gave him some money to get started. He could reimburse us. So Tesla guy, you could reimburse Solano County with that money, so I could build affordable housing so that everybody has a right to build a home.
So we can transition people from houseless into incorporating them to the society.
Well, I'm very fortunate. I'm a retired teacher, 39 years. I bought my house over 30 years ago, and you could do that on a teacher's salary. You can't do it anymore. And so how are you going to create generational wealth? How is that going to happen? And when you don't have stability in your community and everybody is a renter, not being rude to renters, but a lot of times there's a big turnover. You have an influx of new kids all the time in the classroom. You have people who are not sure, and it just makes an instability that I don't think is healthy for our community.
And people nowadays, the next generation, millennials, Generation Z, they're not staying in careers for 30 years like our generation did. They were like, I'll stay here for 5 years and move to another place for another 10 years. So they're pretty much transient in that respect, because they value themselves and their well-being. So they're not going to be stuck in a 30-year career.
But it makes it really hard when you're looking for people who will be on your school board, who will be on your commissions, who will eventually take my place a while from now, guys. Just the people who are watching this.
We all have to adapt to different forms of lifestyles and the way our careers are too, with our different generations. But I want to thank you so much for coming by, and I hope we can do this more often, because it's one thing to read newsletters. It's another thing we're such a visual generation, society right now. As long as we have this technology, why not use it so that we can see you giving us information? Because I have to say, one of the things that I appreciated the most about you, I've always appreciated about you as an elected official, is that when you were on our school board, you were everywhere. So you actually connected with your constituents, and so we felt like that value because you got to listen to us and you saw where we live.
Yeah.
Because you live there too. And so
Yeah.
it makes it easier for you to go and advocate for us and advocate for you because you see us.
Yes.
And
yes.
I just appreciate that. You not only did that as a member of our Solano County Board, as our Solano College Board, as trustee, but you have done that also as a member of the Board of Supervisors for the last 6 years now?
Yeah, because I was elected in
2016.
2016.
Yeah.
And took the oath of office 2017,
Yes.
and 6 weeks later, we had our flooding.
Yes, oh my goodness. So since 2012 to now, you've been serving our community in one capacity or another, and that's on top of teaching for 39 years. So thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you for the invite. And I would like to
community.
come back because next Tuesday's board meeting, we're still talking about where our rescue plan money is going to go, and I'd like to give everybody an update of what's happening with all of that and everything we're doing.
And the Daily Republic wrote an extensive article about that and just what you all did at your meeting last. So not only we have our board meeting, we have the Daily Republic that's catching us up on what's happening on the Solano County Board of Supervisors, and having you here was wonderful, telling us about, reminding us where your district are, what you do to serve us, and then also on what you're doing for all of the different committees you're on, and how that serves us. Because this is 20 minutes of a lot of information that you do for us every single day.
Well, and there's
really
more
appreciate
committees that I would like to talk to everybody about.
Yeah.
And because there's a lot of things, what are we doing with water? So there's lots of stuff going on that I really would like to have everybody be aware of, because it's going to affect everybody. Look at what's happening in Arizona, where the unincorporated area with brand new homes has been cut off from water because there isn't enough water.
Goodness gracious.
Yes. So,
and then all the requirements for solar panels as well, right?
Right.
So would you commit to coming back at least once a month or at least once every 2 weeks, if you can, fit us into your schedule to catch us up? Our constituents
I
in
definitely
District 2.
would love to do that.
Thank you.
Well, it's always a pleasure to meet with you.
At least I get to hang out with you. I get to hang with Monica for at least a half an hour once every 2 weeks or so. So let's do that.
Please,
let's have
I
a
would
date
love to
every
do that.
2 weeks, and you can come and tell us about town.
Yes.
What's happening about town
Yes.
with District 2 with Supervisor Monica Brown. Thank you so much
Thank
again.
you very much for the
Oh my
invitation.
gosh, of
And it's so
course.
nice to be in the new studio.
Yes, that you helped create.
Well,
because you voted for the bond.
I did vote for the bond.
That built this studio.
Yep, and I did vote yes on a few things that they did.
Yes.
And the new theater. Oh, that we could just talk about
Yes.
that.
And then we'll do that when you come back.
That
next
would be
time.
fun.
Well, thank you everyone for hanging out with us, and thank you again, Supervisor Monica Brown, for hanging out with us as a constituent. I really, really appreciate you coming out. We'll see you in 2 weeks. And for About Town, I'm Ana Petero. Peace out.